Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Fair Talk Show with Oladoyin, where we talk about finance, entrepreneurship, and purpose. If this is your first time, thank you for coming. And if you've subscribed before and you're coming back, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being part of today's episode. And on today's episode of Entrepreneurship, I have here with me a songstress, a music minister, a music coach, am I right? A professional pianist by name Raphael Gabriel, CEO of Raf Keys Empire. Welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Such
a privilege.
So nice having you around. Such a great privilege. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Mara.
All right, sir. So can we know a little details about you?
Okay. My name is Raphael Gabriel. I'm from Benue State, and from the family of 5. I'm the first son. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
And also the third born, 2 ladies, then with 2 guys, and 1 more lady behind. Hope you understand the arrangement. Okay. I read physics in University of Abuja, graduated 2018, served 2019. Then I also taught. I'm a science teacher, so I taught for a while and resigned to face purpose and ministry and also to carry on with my passion and what God called me to do.
Yes, so that's why he's here on today's show, to really talk to us on the purpose God has called him into. So he's going to be talking to us on passion relating to what he does, like his business and his ministry. So sir, what's your journey into entrepreneurship?
Okay. First of all, I want to say this. The word passion means many things. You can be passionate about nothing. Yes. But I could also tell you one of my greatest mentors is passion. So passion can be a mentor to you. Yes. So starting from, let's say 2012, I was in SS3 when I got this vision about Raf Keys Empire. I never knew what it meant, so I just wrote down the name. And I think 10 years down the line before it became a reality. But
10 years.
I just had this, anytime I close my eyes, I see myself instructing music. I see myself teaching music. So I find joy in passing the knowledge I have in music to others. So anytime you see me practicing, anytime you see me watching YouTube videos, I'm not just learning because I want to be a pianist. I knew I was going to be a teacher someday. I knew I was going to impact knowledge to people someday. So I came with that mindset of being a coach, not just a player, because there's one between a player and a coach, right? So.
You said 10 years?
Yes, 10 years.
Wow. So what year did Raf Keys started officially?
Okay, let's say 2021.
Wow.
From 2012.
Okay.
Yes.
So apart from your music academy, what other things do you do?
Okay, I'm into business. And let me even say this, if you're a musician out there, there's so much money in music. And most people think till you do the secular thing before you could make money. That's truly wrong. I got this idea from one of my financial mentors. He said, whatever trade you pick to do, you should pick out the business in it more than the skill. You know, most people keep acquiring skills, and that skill, they can't convert it to money. So I'm a pianist, I'm a music coach, I sell musical instruments, I rent musical instruments, I also repair musical instruments, and I install. So whenever you hear music, there's just something that will make your money enter my account. So it's either you are learning, it's either I'm playing for you, it's either you are buying, it's either you are renting. So even if I don't feel like being under a record label or playing for a church, like what an average musician wants to do, money keeps coming because people must always buy gadgets. People must always rent, those who can't afford to buy theirs. So I just created separate opportunities whereby money can come.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a business name, like a registered business name for what you do?
I have a business name, Grace Note Music Academy, which we registered 24th of November last year, which is, this is 2022, right? So last year is 2021.
Wow. So like you said earlier, you said the vision came in 2012.
Yes.
But you just started last year, 2021. So, and I'm sure during the time, like you faced some challenges.
A whole lot of challenges.
So can you just share at least 3 challenges that you faced?
3 challenges. Okay, I think the first challenge I faced was persecution from my own family. Because you know, when you are young, you are passionate, but you know, there's this zeal without knowledge. You just want to do some things, and most times it affects the family background or some kind of settings, your home training. I remember at some point I was almost disowned from my house because my dad said no more piano in this house.
Wow.
Because it affected a whole lot. So at some point, no one was paying my fees. At some point, no one was registering me for WAEC, just because they didn't want me to do music. They felt I was getting out of hand. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
So I remember there was a time for like 4 months, I wasn't eating in the house with severe beating. But I just knew,
Wow.
I just knew I needed to do this. And I'm not regretting it because I wish I stopped. So you could be out there, maybe yours is a passion to do something, to learn any kind of trade. Your first persecution comes from your household.
And which is actually the worst.
Yes,
Like
because most times you are helpless. Most times you are helpless. You can't even leave the house.
The people that you feel like they should help me with this, they're even the one they're the one categorizing everything.
Because my dad always tells me that when I was still in my mom's belly, he told God he wanted this child to do music. And so I came up with that mindset that, okay, I'll get this support. But all of a sudden, because he was a preacher, he wanted me to be in his church, and we didn't have a piano then. So, and this passion was the type that I just wanted to, anywhere I see the black and white keys, I just want to. So there was so much restriction. Members started complaining, your dad has a ministry, you're worshiping somewhere else, stuffs like that. And all of a sudden, there was this tendency to give up, because everybody was asking me, why are you doing what you're doing? Actually, then I didn't really see the bigger picture. If I knew, I would have. So there are some things I'm still regretting that I missed, but it wasn't much, right? So it was just a little. I just missed a little, but I was able to still learn. I was able to meet people who mentored me, and I started seeing why I passed through those challenges, because there are some things I've been able to overcome now that those challenges taught me to do. Like when I was starting out in my business, I remembered I had a challenge with my employer, because they always hear me making calls, calling some kind of amount that was bigger than my salary. So queries started coming, and even when I left my job, I didn't leave by receiving they gave me a sack letter. So,
okay, wow.
Yeah, so that at that point, and I started the music academy in the place where, like, my official residence. So if you're giving a sack letter, meaning you have to leave the residence. So at that point, how do we go? I thought of selling the instruments. I thought of maybe just getting a job in town, 250K, that's what everybody's dream is. But something just told me you could start up again. So I had to struggle to pay rent and move to another apartment. And the fact that you can pay rent doesn't make you a parent.
wait, say it again. Like, I'm just thinking about it now. Say it again.
Okay, I said, the fact that you are a parent.
The fact that you're a parent doesn't make you a parent.
Yes, because not every parent can parent.
My God, that's.
And if you cannot parent, go back to your parents.
Wow, that's deep. No, this is deep.
Okay, that was by the way, but there were so many challenges from family, from employer. At some point, it came from church. The church where I started playing. I think the first time I ever earned a salary as a musician was 18,000. Wow. So, and you have to transport. I was in school then, coming all the way from University of Abuja, spending 1,000 per trip, and I come 4 times. So at the end of the day, what was left with me was 2,000 from the 18,000, because I spent 16,000 on transportation. But I just knew I needed to be there, because that was an opportunity for me to learn more. So money was not even the motivation at first. It's recently I started seeing the need that, okay, I can monetize this skill. But then I was just there was just this passion. I just kept moving. I didn't even know where it was taking me to.
So no, that's from family member now. Like that's the number one challenge. So the second point.
Okay, I talked about my employer where I was working.
Okay.
Yes, and I was kicked out, so I had to start all over again. I already called some people who would buy instruments. I wanted to sell my instruments out and just maybe start another, but I just knew I couldn't. Let me even say this: there's something about purpose that you find peace of mind doing it. You could be in the midst of fire, in the midst of storm, but there's peace. So at that point, I was struggling to parent. I was struggling to feed. Yes, I need to put that too. But I just saw that each time I see someone trying to practice and masters what I taught them, this calmness comes, and it's beyond salary. Yes. Salary can't give you that peace of mind.
Yeah, true.
It's fulfillment that brings that. So I think that was what kept me. Then I think lastly, one of the challenges I had was finances. And maybe in the subsequent discussions, I will give out some little things that helped me overcome this. That I was able to start buying gadgets for my music academy. I had to start moving up to doing online classes. And I have students outside Nigeria and Africa. So how I reach out to them, you need gadgets. No matter what God called you into, you need a medium to reach out.
Yes, true.
Yes. So most graves die with so many visions. That's because they didn't have the possibility and the facility to pass the utility to the society.
The facility and the ability to pass the utility. My goodness. Okay, so leading to the next question. Just like you said, so what motivated you? What kept you going? Okay, after all these challenges, especially coming from your family members to finances to employers. So what kept you?
Okay, let me say this. You aside having a vision or having a goal, you need to set targets. Like the challenges I'm going through now, I'm going to explain it 5 years later. And no one will know I'm going through this kind of challenges now. But there's something I look up to. One of my students once told me, he said he just wished he could just have some of the gadgets I have and just maybe wake up every morning to see instruments. You know what your passion is after. But come to think of this, my goal is to sit in an auditorium, like a stadium, where I'm teaching like 50,000 students music at the same time. So that means we need like 50,000 pianos. It's never been done before. You could pick the idea anyway. So that means you need like 50,000 pianos, and you need staffs who are going to be up to 1,000 or let's say 5,000. So at that point, 10 teachers to maybe 50 students or so. So this is the picture I have in my mind. So no matter what I've achieved now, or no matter the challenges I'm having now, it doesn't look like. So when people keep applauding me, what I'm seeing is even bigger. I'm still in just a little, I'm confined. Why the goal is, so most times I see myself, and it's coming to pass already, because we've started checking out for lands. We've started checking out for properties within Nasarawa, within Abuja, and by God's grace we'll have sponsors soon. So, and we'll keep moving. But I just feel those pictures keep coming to my head. So I want to train 5,000 or 50,000 rather people at a time. But I just have like maybe 50 students. So compare 50 to 50,000. The gap. So each time I want to, because if I don't have this thing ringing in my head, the applause people give me will just, okay, I have 50. Let me just, this is beyond business. This is now like, this is your ministry. This is what you are called to do. So for the fact that God showed me, that means I can achieve it. He won't give you more than what you can bear. So those pictures keep coming, and each time I see people practice, and because I've trained a whole lot of people, and when I see the value they give to the society, it's an encouragement beyond the money. So it keeps coming. You find people who they don't know nothing about business, about music. You just bring them on board, teach them music, teach them business, and all of a sudden they become business owners. They start owning music stores and the rest of that. So I think those things, and although I'm gaining from because most of them sow seeds, you get stuff like that for the value you've given. So, but that's not the motivation, anyways. But for the fact that you pick someone who doesn't have anything and try to put value in them, it's a consolation. So that keeps me going. Most nights I want to sleep. I know, no, you can't start sleeping now. There are some people's lives that are dependent on your passion. So I feel the passion one more time.
Oh, yes. That's very true. You can't sleep sometimes because you know that there are people that are dependent on you right now.
Most times sleep is a sin. Okay, I will explain. You could crucify me later, but the only biblical few, not absolute though, why people get poor is sleep. So it's a little sleep and a little slumber. Say poverty will come like agbada, like it will wear you.
Like agbada.
It will come on you. So whenever I remember those things, I reduce my sleep. So there was a time though I was advised by medical personnel to stop it. So I was sleeping 3-4 hours out of the 20 hours because most of my online classes are midnight because it's night here, it's day over there. So, and when I'm leaving there, I'm going back to work, maybe back to a church program, come back for music classes, back for online classes. So most times I just have 3 a.m. to 5:30 to sleep, and by 6 I'm awake, I'm back.
Wow. Oh my goodness, wow. Okay, so I know your advice is already in your motivation already, but you will still give us an advice. So what's your advice to viewers? Especially someone that has an assignment relating to yours.
Okay, the first thing I would say is that whatever you need to grow, if you want to grow a business, a ministry, a family, it needs time. You know, time is a currency when it comes to purpose. So God can tell you are going to be a preacher, you are going to be a billionaire. You don't just speak that word and you expect to just start becoming it. Most times it could take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Just be sure you are keeping to principles because for everything, life is predictable. I am not God, but I could predict 5 years from now because there are some principles I am abiding to and those results are coming. So the more I keep staying with those principles, I keep getting so life is so predictable. Most I think for the younger generation, they have this level of impatience. You know, that's why Yahoo is now trending. And you know, one thing about this generation is that they don't want to put value on themselves. They want to use a value from outside. For instance, I'm not a billionaire yet, but we're heading there. But I discovered there's a kind of value I can put on myself that money will meet money in my hands.
Yes.
But most people, instead of putting that value on themselves, they take a value from outside. And so it's just like you need to make yourself so valuable that people pay $1 million just an hour to hear you speak. But instead of that, you prefer to kill someone, cut the head. No, that's still value. Because God put value in everybody. So why not work on your value and it brings money? You are taking someone else's value, using it in a spiritual way to get money.
Yours,
and when that money finishes, you don't even know the strategy to which that money came. That is why most people become poor all of a sudden. Because they didn't climb a ladder. They just held a rope and they were dragged up. So my advice to because this is more to the younger generation, because the older people, they've done a whole lot, so they should rest a bit. But for we who are still young, you are 35, you're 30, you're 25, this is for you. Take out time to sit with your purpose. Take out time, you are learning a skill, make sure you become good at it. Don't just, I think excellence is not just a process or a lifestyle. Excellence is a currency. Excellence can give you favor. So if I give you are a tailor, I ask you to sew my shirt, and after everything, I have to call neighbors to come and help me pull it. Patronize your guy, and you know. But there should be this level of excellence whereby I want to hit a contract with PDP and APC. I just know I can call this guy. This guy will deliver the job. So it's not, at that point, I'm not thinking of my family member because I don't want to lose the contract too.
Yes.
So you see, most people, you are in a store with your neighbor and that person is doing well. Don't just always conclude that he's using some mystical powers. It's just, I think excellence brings favor. So stay to your calling. I remember then I set a target for myself that I will rehearse 8 hours every day,
Oh.
except on Saturdays because of Sunday service. So, and I did that for like 6 months. And most of my students see me play, because I play 6 instruments already.
Oh.
So I'll be on my 7th by the month of May. So most of them ask me, how do you cope with, you were reading physics, I read physics. So we were 1400 level. When we got to final year, we were just 21. Uni Abuja, you could go and confirm. Out of that 21, only 8 of us could go for NYC then. That's how tough it was. But I was able to do music. I won awards, I think 2 awards in Uni Abuja from NIFES before I graduated, you get. But I was still able to do my music. I was able to go to, so I was able to balance everything. So I feel, first of all, you should know yourself, know what you can do, then stick to it and put time. Invest your time, invest money, go to YouTube, you are a tailor, don't just sew one style, learn things. You are a painter, don't just paint things that will be hugging people. Someone will just stay on the wall and the wall will hug the person. So, think.
I wanted to ask something now, sorry. Should we still do the game or we should talk about your mentor instead?
Let's do the game first.
Wow, thank you so much for the advice. I feel like this advice is like the lessons are too much in it. Thank you so much. Now moving to the last part of today's show, I have a riddle for you.
All
yes.
right.
So, what can fly without wings?
What can fly without wings? Okay. Is it bad news?
Is it what?
Bad news.
No. Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
bad news actually flies.
Yeah.
No, it's
right.
not bad news. Without wings.
Without wings. What can fly without wings? Oof. A good name. Okay.
You have one last option.
What can
My
fly?
last chance.
Can I call a friend?
No, you cannot.
Okay. Are there options?
No.
Okay, what can fly without wings? Hope it won't be something. Okay, what can fly without wings?
5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
A heartbroken butterfly.
1. No, the answer is time.
Oh my God. No, no.
The answer
Yeah,
is
that's
time.
true.
Yeah,
That's
time.
I didn't even think of that.
Wow, thank you so much for being part of today's episode. I'm going to drop his social media handles. Guys, you have to reach out to him, especially if you have passion for music. Oh my God, please. So his social media handles will be displayed on the screen. Thank you so much for being, I'm so happy right now. Thank you so much.
It's so much a privilege. You know, my parents are proud of me already.
I
showed on TV.
Yes, sir.
My name is Raphael. So you could check my Instagram, my Facebook at Raphael Gabriel and all of that. So thank you so much. It's
Thank you
nice.
so much, guys.
I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Hope there will be another episode, right?
Of course. Of course. You're coming back.
Right.
Thank you so much, guys, for being part of today's episode. Please follow us on all the social media handles at The Fair Talk Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. And the other social media platform. Thank you so much. I remain Oladoyin. See you next week, Monday.
Tada.